In 2010-2011, the first ever National Schools Practice Moot Court competition in South Africa was introduced for high school learners in grades 10 and 11. Learners from both the Western and Northern Cape made their way down to the beautiful city of Cape Town for their first taste of law at UCT. Located in the bustle of a city blossoming with opportunity, the University of Cape Town's Law Faculty seemed a great host for the very first regional practice moot court competition. A first for South Africa, this event was hosted by the South African Constitutional Literacy and Service Initiative in conjunction with UCT and the University of the Western Cape. A moot court competition is a simulation in which individuals are given a hypothetical legal problem affecting young people and asked to argue both sides of the problem based on the law and public policy. It is a wonderful way to introduce learners to the law and the Constitution. The aim of the competition was to cultivate students' written and speaking skills and to introduce the possibility of studying law to those interested in the field.
As we really experience from this competition, we get to see a lot of other learners as well. We get to learn from them as well, and we get to have a broader perspective of the law of South Africa.
The experience has basically nailed the thought of law study even deeper into me, because at first it was just a passion that was floating around, but now I really know that this is where I want to be.
What we need to understand is that the school has more resources in which they can actually have dealt with the situation differently.
To enter the competition, a team of 2 learners was required to submit written essays to the competition coordinator in Pretoria.
Sections 29 state that everyone has the right to education.
Based on those essays, 36 teams made up of 4 from each province were selected as semi-finalists to travel to Pretoria to compete on the 20th to the 21st of March. The regional practice moot court competition prepped students for what was to come.
Contemplated by our Constitution, however, the importance of protecting the rights and concerns of others by far outweigh the applicant's right.
The experience was amazing. It was staggering. It gave me at least a taste of how my future would be, in terms of if I do pursue going into law in the future.
The South African Constitutional Literacy and Service Initiative, or SA Classy, a new program aiming to create a movement towards constitutional literacy and service amongst young people in South Africa, conducted a series of trainings and workshops for learners in the Northern and Western Cape. The workshops aimed to encourage them to enter the moot court competition before the semi-finals in Pretoria. Separate rounds were held for those who felt more comfortable arguing in Afrikaans. In the future, the competition plans to accommodate for Xhosa speakers and other languages as the need arises.
Net die deel van dit nou prakties, as ek dit so kan noem, deel was dat jy nou fisies in die court gestaan het en 'n case gehad het wat jy moet voorstel. Die judges vra jou vrae en jy moet prepare en jy moet speeches hê en jy moet written arguments hê, en dit het my regtig van nou as jy in daai posisie, jy moet nou besluit. Gaan ek dit eendag doen? Gaan ek eendag daar voor die hof kan staan of voor die judge kan staan en my saak kan stel? Want dit is my baie my
maar ons wil nie dat die punishment moet hom heel dit moet hom slegter laat voel oor homself. Ons wil hê hy moet weet hy is verkeerd, maar nie laat hy glo dat hy 'n slegte persoon is omdat hy verkeerd was.
Ja, ek het dit baie daarvan gehou. Dis regtig iets anders daai. Jy weet, debat praat jy maar nie regtig met iemand nie. Jy praat maar so in die lug en dan praat die ander ou in die lug, maar hierdie praat jy darm en dan praat jy oor iets wat darm saak maak.
All learners from the Northern and Western Cape who entered the moot court competition were invited to participate in the regional moot court competition held at UCT. This initiative was also supported by the Legal Aid Clinic at the University of the Western Cape. After a brief address by Mithali Jain, SA Classy Director, and an address by a representative of the Department of Basic Education in Pretoria, a workshop on effective oral advocacy was given by the UCT Jessup Moot Court team, who represented SA in an international moot court competition in Washington, D.C. Each team was then to present their arguments in 2 preliminary rounds. Following these rounds, the 4 semi-finalist teams who would argue after lunch were chosen, and then law students led tours for learners interested in learning more about university life. The semi-finals and finals were held in the large courtroom with all judges present. Law students, professors and attorneys served as judges. Certificates were presented to all learner participants and the winners were announced. The first regional practice moot court was enjoyed by all, and organizers hope to work together to make this an annual event.
So, we've chosen the respondents to the winners of this fund.
I'm definitely excited, overwhelmed, it even feels surreal. I think that something like this is really necessary because at the end of the day, it's the experience you take with. Whether you win or not, the experience, I think everybody can agree with the fact that the experience is what's vital and what everybody actually takes back home. So I really feel that this project was much needed and should really continue as the future goes. So really.
I'm Sibabalo Gzilichan, and I think this is a great opportunity because, you know, it is such a great way to expand one's knowledge. So I'm very happy that, you know, I came here, and even though I couldn't have won, but now that I have won, you know, I know there's a better chance of me doing better in life as well. So it was really fun, great experience.